I remind you that our consciousness is a vast canvas, painted with the colors of our thoughts. And those hues spill over into the masterpiece of our lives, tinting every moment with the shades of our inner world. Pause and gaze inward. What flickers through your mind as you stand still? A silent observer of your own soul's gallery? The world around you whispers its secrets, weaving them into the fabric of your awareness, threading subtle truths through the rich weave of your being. By consciousness, we mean the intricate tapestry of your character, your morals etched in stone, your skills honed like a craftsman's tools, your reactions swift as a deer in flight. Ultimately, it's this rich inner gallery that sculpts you into the person you are, a living artwork shaped by the brush of your mind. Imagine this canvas stretching wide, a boundless expanse where every thought adds a stroke, blending into a portrait of who you are and who you might become. When the brush strokes of your consciousness shift, your very soul transforms, drawing new wonders or shadows into your orbit, as if the universe itself adjusts to mirror your inner hues. A changed heart rewrites how you see the world, redirecting the spotlight of your life stage, casting light on paths once shrouded in dusk. Etch this truth into your being to reshape your existence. You must first mold the essence of who you are, crafting a self that shines with purpose and intent, a beacon in the vastness of your own existence. You don't need to shatter the mirror of your old self and sweep away the shards, discarding every fragment of your past in a storm of reckless upheaval. Instead, polish it, refine it. Let it evolve, like a river carving a new path through ancient stone, its waters smoothing the rough edges with patient grace. A revitalized character unfurls fresh horizons, bold thoughts like spring blossoms, actions that dance to a different rhythm, each movement, a note in the symphony of your renewal. Deep within, a quiet revolution sparks new steps in the world outside, a subtle shift that ripples through the fabric of your days, awakening possibilities long dormant. Picture yourself standing at that river's edge, watching as its current reshapes the landscape of your reality, carving new channels through the bedrock of your life. If your feet still tread the same weary path, the inner shift was but a whisper, not a roar, a fleeting breeze rather than a tempest of change. Let this be your compass, a steady guide through the wilderness of self-discovery, pointing you toward the horizon of your potential. To summon change into your life, you must dare to reshape yourself. A slow, winding journey through the seasons of your soul, approached with the lightness of a breeze, so its weight won't crush you beneath its profound promise. What could be more thrilling than sitting by the fire of your own mind, sifting through the embers of your beliefs, bending them toward the sunlight of your own good, warming your spirit with their radiant glow? It's a sacred art, reimagining the world in ways that lift you higher, forging new ideas like a blacksmith at the anvil, each hammer strike crafting something stronger, truer, more enduring. This labor rewires the currents of your consciousness, redirecting the river of your attention toward shores of clarity and abundance. As these twin forces twist and turn, the treasures or burdens they carry into your life transform, revealing the alchemy of thought and focus you wield within. Envision yourself as that blacksmith, sweat on your brow, hands steady as you shape raw iron into a blade of insight, a tool for cutting through life's illusions. The task may loom like a mountain, its peak shrouded in mist, a challenge that beckons you to climb with every ounce of your resolve. Yet you'll conquer it, step by stubborn step, for time will demand it of you. Its relentless march urging you onward through the fog, to thrive among others, to weave a life of meaning. You must grow, shedding old skins for new, a metamorphosis born of change, a rebirth forged in the crucible of your own determination. No, you won't wake at dawn a stranger to yourself, nor will two sunsets remake your world entire, as if the cosmos could shift so swiftly in a fleeting breath. Let perseverance root deep in your spirit. Let patience bloom like a steadfast oak, and chase new streams of awareness through the days, the months, the years, building a foundation as enduring as the earth itself. With each stride, you'll feel the ground shift beneath you, a quiet quake of becoming that trembles through your very bones. Picture it as your soul unfurls into something new, the dreams you've cradled in the dark, perhaps even glories beyond imagining, will step into the light, radiant and tangible at last. Isn't that a flame to warm your resolve? A torch to guide you through the shadows of doubt and the chill of hesitation? When your consciousness dons a new cloak, the long-awaited will knock at your door, as if fate itself has been patiently awaiting your transformation. A spark worth kindling, don't you think? This ember of possibility that could blaze into a wildfire of fulfillment? Shift your gaze on others to summon loyal friends, or a love that mirrors your own. A small price, paid with a smile, yet yielding a harvest of connection and joy that enriches your days. Must I reframe how I see women, how I carry myself, to win their hearts, to forge a bond that resonates with mutual respect and understanding? A worthy wager, I'd say, a challenge that calls you to step into a fuller, more authentic version of yourself with grace and poise. Recast my thoughts on those who climb life's peaks, to claim a grand home or a gleaming car, those who reach for abundance with unwavering ambition and fearless drive. Gladly, sign me up, for in honoring their ascent, I might find the courage to scale my own mountains, to chase my own stars. Some sneer that chasing wealth is a sin, often those whose pockets echo with emptiness, or who've convinced themselves the stars of abundance are beyond their grasp, trapped in a prison of their own despair. Until they rewrite that tale, the gates of opportunity will stay bolted shut, or they'll walk past them blind, oblivious to the riches that lie just beyond their self-imposed limits. A single belief can stand like a wall, blocking the life you crave, perhaps a grudge against the powers that be, a nation's shadow, or just a handful of faces, each a stone in the barrier you've unwittingly raised. It might be the way you judge your companions, your workmates, your overseers, your kin, or how you weigh the storms and calms of existence. Any conviction carved too deep into the bedrock of your mind. Reflect on how these walls rise, not from the world's chaos, but from the quiet judgments you've stacked within, brick by brick, over years of habit and hidden wounds. So how do you chisel a new self, breaking through to a freer, bolder version of who you could be? Summon thoughts uncharted, like explorers charting a wild frontier. Conclusions your mind has yet to whisper, fresh and untamed as a sunrise over virgin lands. These don't spring from thin air. They're forged in the crucible of reflection, tempered by the clash of ideas, a fire that burns away the dross to reveal the gold beneath. Step into that crucible. Feel the heat of questioning as it melts the rust of old assumptions, leaving only what gleams with truth and possibility. Too often, we clutch old opinions like tattered banners, defending them against the winds of doubt or the arrows of critique, as if they define our very essence, rather than serve it. We fight to keep them aloft at any cost, exhausting ourselves in a war that yields no victory. Resist that urge, for your viewpoint isn't your master. It's your servant, meant to illuminate the world's mysteries for you, not to bind you to its faded threads. Release it like a bird from your hands. Let it soar toward fresher skies, trusting that what is true and useful will return enriched by its flight. If it's true, if it serves you, it'll circle back, nesting firmly in your mind's branches, a companion rather than a captor in your journey. But if you bow to your perspective, chaining yourself to it, twisting every argument to prop it up, you're its prisoner, not its keeper, locked in a cage of your own making. Uprooting a belief buried deep can sting, tears carving rivers down your cheeks, as the roots tear free from the soil of your soul, leaving raw earth behind. That's no flaw. It's the raw pulse of life remaking itself, a tender ache that heralds growth and the dawn of something new. For some, it's not just a tweak of thought, but a seismic upheaval of everything they've known, a quake that reshapes the very ground they stand upon. with its trembling power. When the ground trembles, hold fast, for this is the truest path you'll tread, a phoenix rising from its own ashes, reborn in the flames of self-discovery. Every angle you hold can shift. Just let it drift from your mind's harbor, a ship set free to sail uncharted seas, in search of new horizons. If it sails back, bearing gifts of wisdom or peace, welcome it into your soul's treasury, a prize won through courage and the willingness to let go. Thoughts bend like soft clay in a potter's hands. If I may paint it so, yielding to the gentle pressure of your will and the artistry of your imagination. But to truly rewrite your life story, you'll labor long over the loom of your mind, threading each strand with care and deliberate intent. Call it thought therapy, a sacred craft, the finest work you'll ever undertake, a tapestry woven from the fibers of your deepest self. Picture yourself at that loom, hands steady and sure, the rhythm of your work a meditation, as you weave a life that reflects your truest desires. For many, wielding attention like a painter's brush to chase their dreams has become a heartbeat, a north star guiding them through the dark nights of uncertainty. The fruits of that quest may ripen slowly, seasons passing before they fall into your hands, testing your faith with their unhurried pace. I hope your vision burns bright enough to fuel this rugged climb, tending your beliefs, your thoughts, your focus, your very consciousness, until the harvest blooms in your grasp. Perhaps you're a soul so attuned to its own song that you'll strike a bargain with yourself in a heartbeat, changes flowing like a gentle stream through the meadows of your mind, effortless and serene. Maybe the thrill of this dance will sweep you up. Hardships fading like mist in the sun, you'll play it like a grand adventure, laughing at the stumbles as you twirl through the steps. Still, grit your teeth and press on, for failure may knock you back, demanding encore after encore, a relentless teacher in the school of resilience. Don't call it a whip cracking over your back, lest it weighs you down with dread. See it as the sweat of triumph, and you'll rise with a fire in your chest and wings on your heels. Envision yourself rising, dust shaken from your shoulders, a warrior tempered by the trials you've faced and the victories you've claimed. Sometimes you must sit with yourself beneath the stars, whispering adjustments to your inner compass, fine-tuning the direction of your journey with quiet resolve. Assure yourself the summit's yours, that your will is iron enough to tame your mind's wild horses, bending them to your purpose with unyielding strength. I am my own creation, forged by my hands and heart, a declaration that resounds through the vastness of your spirit, a vow to shape your own destiny. Don't toss blame onto life's jagged edges. How often we cry, "My mother scarred me young," or "You can't fathom my wounds," as if the past holds the reins of our present and future. I won't wield those scars as a shield to dodge the weight of who I've become, refusing to let history dictate the story I write today. Yes, I clawed through therapy's thorns to untangle my mother's knots, and my father wove his share too, but I fought for me, sculpting a brighter self from the wreckage. You can too, if the life you're wading through leaves you cold and restless, yearning for a warmth you've yet to kindle within. Stand at the edge of that wreckage, tools in hand, ready to build something new from the ruins, a monument to your own resilience and will. No matter who tugs at our strings, or what tempests rage, the reins of choice stay in our grip. A power no storm can wrest from us, a lifeline in the chaos. Clench your fists now, tight as iron. Let every wound and ache flare up. Muscles taut as a drawn bow, breath locked in your chest, feeling the full force of your endurance. Bear it, then let it all melt away. A long exhale washing you clean, opening your eyes to declare, I tower over the storms outside. I am mightier. That's all. This is your will, a beacon blazing through the darkest nights, a light that no shadow can dim, a fire that burns with the heat of your own determination. See it clear. If my consciousness is the wellspring, I must stir its waters to shift what flows forth. stirring the depths to release new currents of possibility and promise. Thoughts ripple outward. Attention sharpens its aim, each wave a step toward the life you envision with vivid clarity. The spark ignites within me. I'm no puppet of fate, no thrall to flesh. My body bends to my command, and the world bows to my will, not I to its fleeting whims. Feel that spark flare into a flame, a fire that warms your resolve and lights your path through the unknown, a torch you carry into the abyss. Those stray thoughts that later bloom into reality sprout from the soil of your deepest seeing, nurtured by the way you perceive and interpret the world around you. Grasp this delicate thread, and a universe unfurls, revealing the intricate dance between mind and matter, a choreography of creation. Your consciousness is the loom, what it weaves. Life wears, a garment tailored by the patterns of your attention and the fabric of your beliefs. Attention's power spins within its own web, threaded by your logic, your trust, your scars. Each strand a piece of the narrative you tell yourself day by day. If failure's been your shadow, your mind's grown thorns to match, prickling your dreams with doubt and hesitation. A garden overgrown with weeds of fear. Even when you dream of gold and sing bright hymns, you'll reap what your roots believe, not your wishes, but your weathered truth, the foundation beneath your aspirations. Start small. Whisper to yourself, today, $1,000 will find me. Somehow, and watch how your inner landscape shapes the outcome, a test of the soil you've tilled. Yet if you've long deemed such windfalls a fairy tale, that old, calloused creed, born of reason and ruin, will rule the hours, casting a shadow over your hopes like a storm cloud on a summer day. Mark this, the mind's memory and machinery steer what takes shape, a mechanism honed by years of experience and the echoes of past lessons. And know your beliefs wrestle one another, one may falter, eclipsed by a stronger shadow, a silent struggle that determines what rises to the surface of your reality. If your eyes catch only stumbles and one all day, nothing fresh will bloom, unless you turn your gaze, redirecting the light of your attention to brighter fields. Imagine your mind as a garden, where attention flows like a river through a canyon of convictions, faiths, visions, doubts, a chorus that sings your world into being with every note. That song decides what steps through your door, a melody composed of the tones you choose to amplify or mute. Can we call thoughts solid then? Tangible bricks in the structure of your existence, weighty and unyielding? Better to crown your way of thinking the true substance, the architect that designs the life you live, a master builder crafting with the tools of perception and will. Picture this. A soul brands itself a lost cause, yet labors, dreaming of riches raining down, clinging to a vision of abundance despite the weight of its own despair. A fleeting memory of a lover's spat flickers by, and that day, harsh words fly, but no coins fall, as if the mind latches onto the familiar sting with eager claws. Months of money dreams drift by, fruitless, while a single moment of discord takes root with ease. A weed thriving in neglected soil. Why does a whisper take root while a chorus fades? That's why thoughts alone aren't the clay. It's how you see yourself that molds the outcome, the lens through which all else is filtered and formed. If that soul wore success like a crown, reveled in victories, and let failures slip like sand through fingers. If it danced with life's wild joy, only sweetness would bloom, even from discord. A flower rising from cracked earth. Coins might jingle in after that spat. A gift born of chaos. A testament to the power of perception to turn shadows into light. Perception reigns so supreme that even dark musings can twist in delight, bending reality to the will of a mind that refuses to bow to circumstance. A bright mind might grumble, I loathe those planes roaring overhead. Yet a charmed one finds dollars tumbling from the sky, transforming irritation into unexpected bounty. A downtrodden spirit gets more thunder, while a radiant one reaps rewards from the same storm. A contrast that reveals the alchemy of outlook. The magic of a mind turned toward the sun. That's the consciousness to cradle, fearless even in shadow. A flame that burns steady no matter the wind. A light that endures through every gale. So, not every thought hardens into truth. Cheer for that, you who dread your mind's wanderings, for it grants you space to shift and grow beyond your fears. Here's more balm. Life mirrors where you're seeing, thinking, and focus align. A reflection you can adjust with care and intention. A mirror you polish with every choice. And one last gift, the world builds slowly, not in a flash, brick by brick, giving you time to lay each piece with purpose and precision. A structure rising at your command. Attention is the architect. Spot the cracks where possibility seeps in, and hold them close, nurturing them into openings for change. Windows to a brighter future. The universe lays its banquet before us. We can spurn it or feast. A choice that rests in how we choose to see and act upon the abundance before us. First, you'll spy your desires peeking over the horizon. Not whole, but hinted, like dawn's first glow. Fragile, yet brimming with the promise of day. These glimmers you must cradle with your gaze, nursing them to fullness, tending them as a gardener tends a budding bloom, coaxing life from the tender shoots of hope. It's a simple alchemy once the veil lifts, a process as natural as the rising sun once you grasp its rhythm and flow. Here's to the beauty of the clear and true, a clarity that lights the path to what you seek, a beacon cutting through the fog of doubt. Our consciousness and its restless dance of thought steer our spotlight. What we linger on grows roots in our days. Not always exact, but echoing close. A shadow of the mind made manifest in the world. Stack these echoes of triumph, joy, wholeness, love, and they'll rise into a tower of reality. A monument to the life you've built with your focus and faith. Focus begets form. Boil it down, and its focus equals fate. A truth as old as time distilled into a single, resonant phrase. Strip it bare, and you'll hear the old song. Thoughts become things. A refrain that echoes through the ages. A melody of creation sung by every soul. Now you see how vast that word, thoughts, stretches, cradling perception, reason, belief, and trembling hope. A constellation of forces that shape your world with every breath. All of it, woven tight, is attention and in its beam. Your life takes shape. A sculpture carved by the light you choose to shine. A work of art crafted by your own hand. Picture yourself holding that beam, directing it with the precision of an artist, illuminating the corners of your existence you wish to bring to life with vivid color. The power lies within you. A quiet strength that grows with every choice to see anew. A wellspring of potential waiting to be tapped. And so, the journey continues. A dance of consciousness and creation, where each step forward is a brushstroke on the canvas of your days. A masterpiece in the making. Imagine standing before that canvas, paintbrush in hand, the colors of your thoughts swirling before you, ready to create a life that reflects your deepest desires. Our consciousness is the loom, yes, but it's also the thread, the dye, the very act of weaving. A process so intricate it defies simple explanation, yet yields to patient hands. What we linger on grows roots, not just in our days but in our hearts, shaping the stories we tell ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of achieving. Stack those echoes high and watch how they solidify into the reality you've dreamed of. A testament to the power of sustained attention and unwavering belief. Picture those dreams taking form, not as fleeting wisps, but as solid structures rising from the ground of your mind. Brick by brick, a city of possibility built by your own will. Focus equals fate, yes, but it's also the chisel, the hammer, the flame that forges your path through the raw material of existence. Thoughts become things. And in that becoming, they carry the weight of your perception, the strength of your reason, the fragility of your hope, all woven into the fabric of your life. This is the grand tapestry of attention, where every thread you choose to follow shapes the pattern of your days. a design as unique as your own soul. Envision yourself as the weaver, fingers deft and sure, pulling threads of triumph and joy from the chaos of life's offerings, creating order from the tangle. Consciousness is not a passive gift. It's an active force, a river you can steer, a fire you can stoke, a garden you can tend with care and intention. What you linger on grows roots, yes, but it also branches out, reaching toward the light of your focus, bearing fruit in the seasons to come. This is the dance of thought and reality, a partnership where your mind leads and the world follows, step by graceful step. Feel the rhythm of that dance, the pulse of your own power as you move through the world, shaping it with every glance, every belief you choose to nurture or release. Focus begets form, and in that form lies the fate you craft. A destiny not imposed but chosen, a path not found but made. Thoughts become things, but they are more. They are the seeds, the soil, the rain, the sun, all working together under the guidance of your attention. In this beam of light, your life takes shape. A creation born of your own vision. A reflection of the consciousness you've dared to cultivate. Picture yourself tending that garden of the mind, pulling weeds of doubt, planting seeds of possibility, watering them with the clarity of your intent and the warmth of your hope. Our consciousness is the wellspring, yes, but it's also the bucket, the hand that dips into its depths, the will that decides what to draw forth and pour into the world. What we linger on grows roots, not just in our days, but in our very essence, defining the contours of our character and the boundaries of our dreams. Stack those echoes of wholeness, love, triumph, and they become the walls of a life well lived, a fortress of your own making. Imagine those walls rising, strong and steady, a sanctuary built from the raw materials of your thoughts, a refuge against the storms of doubt and despair. Focus equals fate, and in that equation lies the power to shift the currents of your existence, to redirect the river of your life toward brighter shores. Thoughts become things, and those things carry the imprint of your perception, the logic of your reasoning, the scars of your past, the hope of your future, all woven into a single, unbroken thread. This is attention's alchemy, where the beam of your awareness turns the lead of ordinary days into the gold of extraordinary living. Envision yourself as the alchemist, standing over the crucible of your mind, watching as the elements of thought and focus meld into something new, something precious, something wholly yours. Consciousness is the canvas, yes, but it's also the paint, the brush, the artist's eye that sees beyond the surface to the potential beneath. What you linger on grows roots, yes, but it also flowers, bursting into bloom under the steady gaze of your attention. A garden of reality cultivated by your own hand. This is the sacred craft of thought therapy, where every adjustment to your inner compass brings you closer to the life you've always imagined. Feel the weight of that craft, the quiet power of shaping your own soul, the thrill of watching your world shift in response to the work you've done within. Focus begets form, and in that form lies the fate you choose. A destiny sculpted by the hands of your own will. A life built from the ground up. Thoughts become things, but they are more. They're the blueprint, the foundation, the walls, the roof, all rising under the direction of your attention's beam. In this light, your life takes shape. A masterpiece of consciousness. A testament to the power of seeing clearly and choosing boldly. Picture yourself standing atop that masterpiece, gazing out at the world you've created, a landscape born of your own mind's labor, a vista of possibility stretching to the horizon. Our consciousness is the loom, yes, but it's also the weaver, the thread, the pattern, the very act of creation that turns chaos into meaning. What we linger on grows roots, not just in our days, but in our legacy, shaping the mark we leave on the world and the lives we touch. Stack those echoes of joy, wholeness, love, and they become the pillars of a reality that endures. a structure that stands the test of time. Imagine those pillars rising, tall and unyielding, a monument to the power of your focus, a tribute to the strength of your belief in what's possible. Focus equals fate, and in that truth lies the key to unlocking the life you crave, the tool to carve your path through the stone of circumstance. Thoughts become things, and those things carry the weight of your perception, the clarity of your reason, the depth of your hope, all woven into the fabric of your existence. This is the beam of attention, where every choice to linger shapes the contours of your days, a light that reveals the beauty of what could be. Envision yourself holding that light, a lantern in the dark, illuminating the steps ahead, casting shadows aside with every sweep of your gaze. Consciousness is the wellspring, yes, but it's also the river, the dam, the hand that directs its flow, the will that decides what to nurture and what to let fade. What you linger on grows roots, yes, but it also spreads, branching out into the world, bearing fruit that feeds your dreams and sustains your spirit. This is the dance of thought and reality, a partnership where your mind leads and the universe follows, a waltz of creation and becoming. Feel the grace of that waltz, the harmony of your own power as you move through life, shaping it with every step, every turn, every choice to see anew. Focus begets form, and in that form lies the fate you craft, a destiny not dictated but designed, a path not stumbled upon but deliberately trod. Thoughts become things, but they are more. They're the music, the rhythm, the melody, the song, all playing under the direction of your attention's steady hand. In this beam of light, your life takes shape, a symphony of consciousness, a composition of your own making. Picture yourself as the composer, pen in hand, writing the notes of your own existence, conducting the orchestra of your thoughts with precision and passion. Our consciousness is the canvas, yes, but it's also the artist, the paint, the vision, the very act of seeing that turns blank space into a masterpiece. What we linger on grows roots, not just in our days but in our souls, shaping the essence of who we are and the dreams we dare to chase. Stack those echoes of triumph, love, wholeness, and they become the chords of a reality that resonates, a harmony that echoes through the years. Imagine that harmony ringing out, a sound that fills the air, a vibration that touches everything you see and everything you are, a testament to the power of your own mind. Focus equals fate, and in that equation lies the secret to transforming your world, the formula to turn thought into action, dream into deed. Thoughts become things, and those things carry the imprint of your perception, the strength of your belief, the fragility of your hope, all woven into the song of your life. This is attention's power, where every note you play shapes the melody of your days. A tune is vast and beautiful as the consciousness that sings it,